Going back to detoxification, I was always taught when we think about who shouldn't do a detox, and at the top of the list typically is pregnant women. I think that if you're going to detoxify, you want to do it before you get pregnant,
Yeah.
maybe to prepare the body. But while you're growing a new life in you, you don't want a bunch of stuff flying around.
And that's a tricky one. I've helped people manage detoxes while they're pregnant because it's like they didn't know they were going to get pregnant. And
Yeah.
I had one, we just had done her mercury testing and it was like high.
Yeah.
And like 2 weeks later, and she was like, all right, I'm going to do the detox. And she's like, shit, I'm pregnant. It was an accident. And it was like, well, how do you deal with this? And, I just saw a friend of mine and her daughter. I hadn't seen her in ages, but I've seen her daughter's 14 now. And when she got pregnant with her, she was super toxic. So how are you going to handle that? Because you're not going to just let it all flow around there. It's going to end up in the baby. So remember, there's tissues to blood, and then blood drains through liver and kidneys. So if you can turn up the drainage of the blood and the binding without turning up the movement out of the tissues into the blood, then you're helping. So it's a more passive one. So you don't want NRF2 upregulators, no lipoic acid, no sulforaphane. You mostly want bitters and binder and some things to move the urine. I'm not going to recommend everybody go do this without a little bit of assistance.